session. Somebody wrote Loot the Goblins and also maybe Suto on this map. Okay.
That was probably Joe when he realized he wasn't going to be able to come. It's like,
You
No
guys
trouble.
already looted the goblins and also maybe Suto.
We looted the goblins? I didn't remember us looting the goblins.
Yeah.
The trove is the collected goods of the goblins.
And
Hold
We got
on.
into a fight. Beat the
Yeah.
goblins.
We beat some goblins up because fuck them.
Suto won't be able to walk for a bit.
Pseudo's
Yeah, he got a
And
little fucked up.
Pseudo's not only fucked up, but he's also cursed because he's in love with the reincarnated sister of Sheadris. And anytime he talks about any shit that's involving her and her fucking cursed ass plague goddess, he
not
goes through
reincarnated, resurrected.
whatever.
Yeah. It's either reincarnated, it's either resurrected, or she just never fucking died in the first place.
But anytime he talks about shit involving her or the cursed ass plague goddess, he goes through excruciating pain and starts to die again.
Mm-hmm.
And all he has managed to tell us is that there is a invasion being planned on the city by her and assumedly the goblins at the very least in a few days, like 3 days, 2 days, 3 days.
3.
It's 3 days, but this is day 0.
Okay, so 3 more full days.
Yeah, this is 0.
Okay. Yeah, so you got 3 days.
Evacuate the town.
Yep.
And beat up sister is downstairs, still alive. John
Mhm.
has gone to retrieve Baylor and the police. There's a whole bunch of fuck shit that was in note form.
Do you recall any of the fuck shit?
Shit. Let's see. I have the note right here. I put it in the notes. I copy and pasted that shit.
That was a very tasteful drawing.
Um, yeah, they're getting the goblins organized, which is
Somebody,
very concerning.
they stole the dad's body to burn on Thistletop.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Apparently, Nualia's transformation has started.
With a hand that Pseudo decided was unattractive, so he's hoping the rest of her turns into a succubi.
Yep.
So
Fucking
his
yikes.
love's only skin deep, I guess.
Right? Like, bro. If you're
He's a
gonna,
real winner, Suto is.
yeah, just like, bro, if you're gonna like betray everyone you love for a baddie, like, commit. Anyway. Yeah, he spits out the 3 days. All this shit connects to Magnamar. The symbol on his chest is a hedron, which I think someone recognized. Was it Sola?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a symbol used by the old city.
Didn't Ismark also recognize it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's from Magnemar.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking. It was just like interrogation, essentially. And I think that's the gist of what we learned. Looking at the end of session notes. Solo went around to inform the rest of the peoples about what's going on. Yeah, I should probably ask Pseudo about the letters. And then looting the gobos and friend. I think we already put like the literal money we already split up, but it's just all of the items we haven't.
Oh, you got a whole boatload of extremely fun citation needed gems and whatnot.
I don't remember where that was placed.
I shall reply.
It's a pinned tweet on the.
Oh, it's pinned. Even better.
Yeah.
I mean, we can sort that out of
Yeah.
session, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of things
Yeah.
there that are helpful to have. Like there's a scroll of virtue, a potion of protection from good, which I'm sure it was only used for upstanding moral purposes. A potion of touch of the sea, and a potion of cure light wounds. You also have the option of picking up a ring of protection, but the catch to that is that it is currently on Suto's left ring finger.
He's keeping his ring.
What is scroll of virtue? What the fuck is that?
Piper, he murdered like 10 people.
Masterwork padded.
He's
armor.
keeping his ring.
I mean, I'm not gonna take it from him.
Virtue is a cantrip for everyone except Paladin. It gives somebody 1 temporary hit point.
Wait, for everybody except Paladin, can I feed that to Holly?
Yeah, I'd allow it. I don't think Virtue is going to break the game.
Just a little nudge in the back of the leg from Holly. You get 1 temp HP.
Holly's like, this tastes a little weird, but I'll eat it though.
Tastes a little morally. Oh, everyone except Paladins. Never mind. I was computing things wrong.
It's a level 1 spell for Paladins. Which, like,
Ah.
imagine that being a level 1 spell for you. I'd be so pissed.
I can't.
Yikes.
It is not everybody except Paladins.
I'd still let you if you wanted.
Are you sure?
It's not going to break the game. It's not going to break the game.
Eh. I will take any excuse to get some more spells, cause I don't like that I am have this few spells. It's not comfy.
The trick, it's potions, it's scrolls, it's wands. Those allow you to get a bit more granular with your prepared spells.
Keep in mind too, Piper, when he goes to jail, he's going to lose that ring.
Yep.
We'll deal with that when we deal with that.
So, Sela has gone downstairs and is informing Mesmine, Elf Lady, and Sister. I don't remember any
And
names
the
right now.
My. How could you forget the woman who pulped like 6 of those goblins by herself?
Because
That's
Solo
Shalane?
is on a mission across the room. That's why she wasn't paying attention.
What? Multi-rapid shot? That's Tuesday. I'm not impressed.
You know how old I am. I've seen this many times before. Get
Oh,
better.
wow. An elven ranger.
Who hates goblins? Daring this reincarnation, aren't we?
And boots of elvenkind. How impressive. All right,
A bow.
the scene is noticeably less happy as you're making your way downstairs. Ameko has been beaten half to shit. Her face is just swollen. You managed to heal her up a fair bit, but she's still in a fair bit of pain. Mez, while you guys were hanging out more privately, Shalelu actually expended a couple of her ranger spells in order to top Ameko up. So Omeko is now mostly fully healed, but there's still a bit of the bruising left behind, and there are some bruises that just aren't going to heal. And what's happened with her brother is clearly one of them. So, Mez, do you have any questions for Omeko during this time?
I mean, she was just more concerned about Ameko's health, and she wasn't getting attacked while they were dealing with what was going on upstairs. Um, I mean, she'd ask if Ameko wants to go up to see her brother. Now that it's sorted out.
You ask Omeko if she would like to go see her brother, and her shoulders are already slumped over. She looks terribly defeated, and she can't quite meet your eyes when you ask her this. Instead, she seems to turn her attention to the corners, to the cracks in the tile in the room, and eventually her eyes land on Shalelu, which is where they stay, even when she's answering you in particular. I don't know if I could bear to talk to him right now.
Well, I'm not trying to push you one way or the other, but he's likely gonna go to prison after this. I don't know how easy it'll be to visit him.
There's a sad smile from Ameko and a very self deprecating shrug as she kind of throws up a hand. Well, I guess being friends with the sheriff has its benefits. I'm sure Baylor would let me talk to him if I wanted to talk to him. Is Coco okay?
Yeah, she wasn't hurt in all this. I don't. She didn't even take any damage, did she?
Nope. She
Yeah.
stayed back through the door the entire time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was behind the people.
Yeah, she wasn't hurt at all.
At least he didn't hurt her. Those two were always really close. I can't imagine what she's going through.
Yeah. I think he may have hurt her in another way, you know? She kind of rubs the back of her neck a bit, like, oof, that like oof vibe.
Ameko pinches the bridge of her nose. She considers what's happened here today. The loss of her father, as much as she hated him and as much as they didn't get along. What happened to her at the hands of her brother. The realization that all of this, all of the things that have happened because of people that she loves and cares about. And that this place isn't as safe as she once thought it was. And as she's thinking this over, Shalelu quietly puts a hand on Ameko's shoulder, and she meets your eyes as she does it with a kind of conspiratorial look, Mesmine. Well, I think that you've had quite enough trouble for one day. Can you walk on your own, or how would you like a little bit of a ferry for old time's sake? Ameko looks down, but she does laugh a little bit. You can see her shoulders rise just a tiny bit. All the way back to the Red Dragon. Yes, even further if you'd like. If you want to skip town, that's perfectly understandable. There are not one but two cabins that you might escape to for a little bit.
Sorry, Mez was just watching this exchange because I don't think she really has much to comment on that.
No worries. Ameko seems to think this over for a little bit, and she looks down at her feet, and her whole body took a beating here. It wasn't really just her face. The goblins were not kind, and you can see that the area of her boots, especially, it feels like it seems like somebody's driven glass shards into them.
Mm.
You know what? Yeah, sure. But we have to make sure Coco's okay first.
I can go get her.
I'd like that, Amiko says.
I'll be right back then.
As you're heading out is about when you bump into Sola, who is heading toward you.
Is everything okay up there?
Sola has the exact same very serious, displeased look she has had since she saw the brand on Suto. And she just kind of slowly shakes her head and lifts an arm kind of in that shepherding gesture again of like she knows that Mez was trying to go past her and upstairs, but she's trying to get her back towards the room to talk to these three together for a moment.
Oh, okay.
She'll kind of shepherd Mez back and slowly look over from Mez to Shalelu, and you just said the name.
Ameko.
I'll make. It's this is why I can only play Legacy this late in the week. My brain is gone. And she kind of pulls the paper, the folded note from folds of her robe. We have figured out why Soto did some of what he did, and it is not good. And she will hold the paper out to whomever grabs is going to grab it first. Which I imagine is probably Shalelu.
It is actually not Shalelu because Sola, as you enter, Shalelu is actually picking Ameko up and carrying her piggyback style. So her hands are occupied.
Mm.
I guess Mez will take it then. And she'll kind of position so everyone can look at it, but not being too close to the two.
And Solo will give them a moment to kind of start reading through, and after she feels that there's been enough time, she shakes her head slightly. He has also said that there is a invasion coming in 3 days.
We gotta evacuate the town then.
There is much to do. Evacuate, yes, but many more things.
As Shalelu and Ameko look this over, Shalelu seems to read faster than Ameko does, or at least get the gist of what's on this page, because she quickly folds it over to hide the questionable drawing, shall we say, from Ameko's view. But neither of them seem very pleased whatsoever with this turn of events.
June has gone to go get Bello. He will be here shortly, but yes, I imagine all of us would be very busy.
This is Thistletop. There may be no need to evacuate the town at all if we act quickly enough.
You think so?
Yes, Thistletop is only 2 hours away by the main roads. Shayadress and I can likely get you there faster than that.
This sounds like there will be more goblins than normal there, though.
And there's going to be multiple armies, aren't there?
Shalelu stops to consider for a moment, and you can see the gears turning behind her eyes. It seems almost as if she's running a tally of every single goblin that exists in this broader area of the coast. You can actually see her shift Ameko's weight a little bit so that she can count on her fingers. And as she's counting on her fingers, she does the partial bend thing in order to increment higher digits. There should be plenty of them, but it is feasible that a small enough team in the middle of the night might be able to strike while they're carousing.
Sola just kind of see her kind of press her lips together, very thin line. And she shakes her head slightly. That may be the case, but I believe that is best discussed with everybody, and probably Belor as well.
Right, and there's been enough discussion for one night for my passenger here.
Looks towards Ameko. You can see the cataloging of wounds, seeing that she is like healed a little bit more. And she lifts her chin slightly. You ought to head home then.
I'm very sorry I did not parse that.
You are to head home then.
Yes. Ameko, after she's read the letter, has just kind of drifted off a little bit, and her eyes have gone glassy. She seems to be staring past you. But when you speak, and when Shalelu gives a tiny little shake slash adjustment, she seems to come back to her senses for a bit. I think that's best. Baylor knows where to find me if he needs me. And if you guys need me, whatever I can do to help clean up this mess. I'm so sorry about this.
None of this is your fault. You're just kind of caught up in it all, you know?
I should have seen. I should have known. He'd been acting so weird lately.
Yeah, but it's not really all that uncommon for people to have blind spots for the family. You're not to blame here.
You are certainly not to blame. There is, even if you had known the amount that it would have taken to prove any of this without having just walked in on it is. Well, I doubt you would have been able to come up with it without dying.
I, I thought he was joking at first. Ameko starts, but then Shalelu looks up at her. Now, there'll be time for that later, but I don't think it's to anyone's benefit to prod the issue any further. At least, not right now.
I'll let Kokoro know you want to see her though.
Please do. I have had more than enough of talking to people for one day.
Oh, single eyebrow raise, actually.
You raise your eyebrow at Shalelu, and there's that look of wait, shit, was that? And then she looks down, calculating again. Sorry.
Slow shake of the head. Uh, everybody has their limits at some point, though I would have thought that shooting several goblins would have helped to balance things out.
Oh, it didn't hurt matters. That was the highlight of the day. But grim highlight.
Sola nods and will kind of step aside to make room. We
Yeah.
will tell Kokoro to come see you as soon as she can. I imagine she will want to talk to you as well. I will stop by with some calming tea.
Thanks, Auntie. I really appreciate it.
Sola nods. And as Shalelu goes by, she kind of like looks back down to Shalelu. And we will be seeing you for more talking about planning.
There is a visible wince from Shalelu. Right. Planning. Talking about planning. Delightful. Looking forward to it.
I mean, at least there'll be more goblins in your future.
Oh, for this? For this, we're going to exterminate the little bastards. And Amiko softly shakes her head, chuckles a tiny bit. Have you been this way for all 200 years? 273, as a matter of fact.
Ooh, the urge to be snarky just hit, but I'm not going to because Sola wouldn't.
Oh, wow, those are rookie numbers.
And can we know what it was?
It was more of her just like the Auntie Sola vibe of no, there was a time where she was actually cute about it.
With that, Shalelu and Ameko will wait here for Mesmine to go talk to Kokoro uh, for a final send off sort of situation. Uh, Mez, are you taking Solo along with you, or are you going on your own?
Well, I mean, Solo's going
Well,
back upstairs.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool, cool, cool.
yeah. Barney can join us because uh, Amako is safe in Shillelagh's hands. Back, arms, you know.
She can't rapid shot with Ameko on her back, so like, how safe is she really?
Mm,
Well, see, I also 100% have no doubt that Shillelagh will just drop a Mako's ass if she has to fight some shit.
You are correct about that.
agree.
It's like, yes, you don't want to like drop the injured, battered woman, but at the same time, I don't think a Mako would complain either.
Yeah, Ameko and Jalelu used to be adventuring companions, and beyond that, Shayadress learned her misanthropy from somewhere. That somewhere is Shalelu.
Hold on, give me a sec. I gotta Google a word real quick.
Dislike of people.
Okay, thank you.
So, as you guys are heading upstairs, could Mesmine roll me a perception check?
Mm, okay. I open my sheet. That would be smart. Yeah. Perception. Perception.
That is some very good perceiving.
Hey, that's almost a crit.
It would be a crit if it was in 2E.
Well, fuck.
So, Mesmine, as you step outside and look for the staircase leading up, uh, which again is, I believe, this staircase over here,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you start getting a weird feeling. The air on your skin feels full of something, whether it's a bit like when you go outside and you know that it's about to rain because the air is so saturated with water. But it's not humidity that you're feeling. In fact, it's very dry here and has to be very dry because of the nature of the work and all of the things around to sop up any moisture there might be in the air. Now, and instead, it feels faintly like tingly burning. And you start to smell something unpleasant, almost sulfurous, as the winds echo through this small little area. But worst of all is this sensation that there's something behind you, and this flickering of the shadows around you into strange shapes. You see all sorts of things that sort of defy explanation, but weirdly enough, there seems to be, when you look down at your own shadow, a little bit of tessellation at the edges. Above table, it's almost like a bad PlayStation 1 like pixel JPEG of your shadow. But, in character, it's a lot creepier. This distortion of your shadow. And you start seeing triangles in quite a few places. But you also hear a voice, and it sounds as if it's coming from your right.
I mean, Mez feels like the paranoia is setting in a little bit because that feeling of something behind you, that's not something she really likes at all. And just seeing the bit of distortion is just really setting her on edge. But she kind of freezes a bit and okay. Hi, Romeo. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that, sweetie.
I enlisted that dog in this spook.
I'm just sitting here like a little tense, and then Romeo just scratches my arm, and I'm like, the fuck?
Was it to your right side?
Left.
Oh,
But
dang.
yeah.
There is a sahedron on that pup's belly. Mark my words.
But yeah, the you know how like there's fight or flight instinct? Well, Mez is kind of hitting that freeze instinct, and she kind of slowly moves her head over her shoulder a bit.
Mesmine, I think you have something that belongs to me.
Uh, she'll turn more, looking around for the voice that she hasn't heard in a hot second.
You don't see anyone behind you necessarily. But with that perception, you can see that the shadows are clustering toward where Sola's going, actually. They seem to be clinging to the wall, these tessellated shapes. Uh, Barney has started to bark very loudly and is growling in that direction as well.
So is Mez behind Sola then?
Yes, I'm imagining that Mez has gone like this way, following after. Uh, the barking is directed in this direction, and the shadows that Mez sees are also here.
So towards the doorway.
Yes, towards the doorway.
Okay.
I don't know where my Mez token is, so
Underneath Shelly, there you go.
thank you. Yeah, okay, so she's there with Barney, and so between them is the shadows, essentially.
It's like right here.
Yeah, okay.
To the doorway.
Yes, the doorway.
Frick, I don't. Mez is a little terrified. But
Wait. Also, if Barney is barking, Sola has stopped and turned to look back.
Yeah, so you don't see anything amiss in the hallway except for Mesmine frozen in pure fright, ash gray, and Barney just all of his hackles raised, and he's a very large dog. So he's got quite a few of those. He's growling with not necessarily malice, but a very protective anger toward the direction of the door.
so out this way.
Indeed.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you were gonna pick it up sooner. She kind of tries forcing it out.
I only turn up when it's time for me to turn up. But I think you and me could come to a bit of an arrangement.
What sort of arrangement?
Now, Sola, it just looks like Mesmine is talking to nothing from your point of view.
Detect magic.
All right. You're detecting magic in a cone toward Mesmine or toward the wall?
Well, toward probably. Hold on. I can use this. So it's probably more towards the wall because she's like looking at Mez at first and then like trying to follow her line of sight and is not seeing anything, so it would be kind of this direction. But if it's a cone, then it's 60 feet.
Then you're catching everyone. You do detect magic. You detect illusion magic afoot, but also a faint air of conjuration. Now, Mesmine, the voice in your head, the familiar, terrible, childlike voice continues. Well, I think it's a deal that you're gonna like. I mean, you must have been scared of her this whole time. I can help you get rid of her.
Who who is she?
Mesmine, don't tell me you've forgotten. I had really high hopes for you, you know. There's a lot of stuff you're going to have to do one day.
What do you mean?
Oh, I can't tell you now. That would ruin the surprise.
Hmm. Why was she why was she after you?
People are weird, Mesmine. They like to reach for things. They like to reach for things that they can't always have. But you know what I like about you? You're different.
Mesmine has the thought of, I don't think that's a good thing in this context.
Sola Mesmine has continued to talk to nothing.
Well, it's clearly something if she's picking up some auras and shit. She's kind of scooted Holly behind her and is taken a step or two closer and is tense, but she is also not acting until she sees Mez really act. Like, Mez is scared, but is also not like running or attacking or anything. And she's also not heard anything to imply that Mez is making any kind of deals, which she is also concerned about. But she's just very intently watching, and I guess probably would have tried to kind of catch Mez's eye. Just like, I am here. Do you need me to do something?
In my head, Mez is kind of focusing her gaze on the floor, like at her shadow kind of thing. Because it's all pixelated and stuff. It's like she is hearing the voice, but that's the best thing I could imagine, like talking to, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And Sola, the shadow looks normal to you.
Yeah, because like without her being able to see anything to focus on right now, she's severely limited on what she can do. So she's just kind of like tries to catch Mez's eye just to be like that you're like either do you need me to do something or like I am here if you need something, like if you need support or something like that. But she's not acting at the moment. But I'm a fucking healer. I can't deal with this type of shit.
You can't deal with curses.
Not right now. One day.
Mez will kind of ignore the comment of you're special and kind of push forward with what do you want?
I want you to come meet me downstairs, Mez.
Downstairs?
You'll know the way when you see it.
Mez looks around. Is there any I mean besides going this way, but isn't this where we entered from?
Yeah, that's
It
towards the
is.
shoreline.
As you're looking toward the door, Mez, and after this voice has just spoken this into existence, there's a darkness to the shadows, a shift, and it goes from the regular uh, sort of light, pale gray of a usual shadow here, illuminated as it is by various torches flickering here and there, to a pure solid black.
When Mez looked around for the doorway, she kind of registered that Sola had stopped and is looking at her. And she kind of forces a smile of like, yeah, I'm okay, but it's obviously not true.
Do you get the most like I smell your bullshit look?
And Mez will speak a bit lower to not catch Sola's ear, hopefully. Um, you're you're not gonna hurt me if I follow, right? This is just some sort of deal.
This is just finishing up an exchange. And I think you'll be able to handle things better if you come down here. I'm looking after you, Mesme.
I find that a bit hard to believe, considering the whole situation that you left me with.
I wasn't the one that hurt you. She was overstepping. And that's why we're gonna go visit her.
I I don't want to see her.
There is a pause, and you see the triangles, the tessellations shift a little bit as you say this. It's hard to say why, but it reminds you almost like a bristling tail, the motion. Mesmine, Mesmine, Mesmine. We all do things that we don't want to do. And to be honest, if you don't go see her soon, she's going to come to see the town, and she'll bring friends.
Mesmine's eyes widen at that. Okay. Um. And she'll kind of look to the shadows, look to Sola, and she'll say, I'll be back."
What does that mean? What are you talking to?
Don't you trigger that trap, Mesme.
If Sola's asking you that, she kind of before stepping in, she'll be like, "I'm talking to the person who kind of started some of this stuff, some personal stuff."
She is saying that as she's walking through,
As she's like about to step through.
and she like Sola, who it took like another like half step, full step forward when she saw like Mez have a physical reaction to something. You see her her eyes narrow a little bit. She kind of like straightens up. You're talking to somebody who caused some of this. Somebody that only you can hear and is casting illusions on you.
Sola, as you say this, you don't hear anything in particular, but Mesmine, you hear a quiet, amused laugh. Oh, I haven't seen her in a while.
You know her?
Of course I do, Mesmine. I know everybody worth knowing.
Mesmine will turn to Sola. Apparently he knows you.
And who is this he then?
He didn't. He did give his name, didn't he? In the past.
He gave the name Cornelius in the past.
As far as I know, his name's Cornelius.
That spark any memories or anything?
Sola, roll me a wisdom check. Just straight wisdom.
Why does it have to be wisdom? See?
That is very low.
Why does it have to be wisdom? That could have
because
been intelligence.
because this relates to worldly knowledge, not mechanical tidbits. Sola, the name doesn't ring any bells for you, and you don't know what Mez is talking about here. You've never met a Cordelius, you're pretty sure. Or if you have, it was just like some dude in Cheliax. Like, this was nobody notable in any of your lives by that name.
And
I'm
this
assuming that's not your real name. To kind of, again, it's talking to the shadows.
What do you think makes a name real?
I mean, typically it's what you're born with or what you're referred to as.
There's laughter. Terrible echoing laughter that seems to, for you, Nesmine, bounce off the sides of the stony walls of this stretch of hallway.
Mez
Mezzy,
winces.
Mezzy, I wasn't born.
Solo will take like another step closer as Mez has been paused in her movements, and she's trying very hard to keep up with the one-sided conversation. Okay, tilts her head. This Cornelius did you talk to? What is he?
I was just about to ask that.
You get the sensation, Mez, of somebody standing almost cheek to cheek with you, but not touching you. Just a very close presence. You know, the funny thing is, she used to know the answer to that, and not many people do. I guess she's forgotten.
The closeness is just spiking the anxiety of Mez even more. And so, does Mesme know, like, the whole thing about Samsarans?
Sola did explain some of it vaguely at the cabin, if you recall.
Okay. Um, apparently, you might have known at some point.
Talking in riddles and amusing themselves, no doubt. Faye, your fiend,
Mm-hmm.
more than likely.
What was so the woman that attacked Mez? What was that in particular? Because I know there's like difference between devils and demons, right?
That was a demon.
Demon. Well, considering the thing that was looking for him was a demon, she kind of shrugs a little bit.
And what is he wanting to talk to you about?
Finishing some sort of business. I kind of said I'd do something for him.
And there is that, like, quirk of the eyebrow, kind of sharp look.
Look, at the time, I thought it was just a commission. Didn't know it'd turn into all this. She kind of holds her rifle case a bit closer to her. It's on her back, but she kind of like pulls the strap closer.
Yeah, if you have gotten in over your head, you know the smartest thing to do then is to ask for help.
Am I allowed to bring anyone with me? Referring to the shadows again.
As you were talking to Sola, the pressure actually seemed to relax a little bit.
Oh,
And it sort of shifted, the shadows did. Uh, and it's Sola's shadow that had started to distort in your vision more so than your own, taking on a kind of vine like shape that climbs onto the wall. Oh, sure. I mean, if you bring friends, it'll be a lot easier for you.
uh, something about how you saying that doesn't sound fully truthful.
No, I'm being very honest right now.
Well, he said I could take you along wherever I'm going.
Sola kind of lifts her chin a little bit and scans the hallway and then looks towards the door that Mez was walking towards. You certainly would not mind several friends.
She's always been such a troublemaker. It's fine this time, though.
I think that's an okay.
And as soon as she hears that, she kind of like looks really sharply over her shoulder, and Holly starts moving as fast as her capybara legs can move upstairs to go retrieve some people.
So we follow Holly as her little capybara legs bounce, 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 serious bounce, bounce, bounce up the steps and make their way over to the rest of the party. And we'll say, Holly, who is closest to the door? Looks like Shadrez. Holly will walk up to Shadrez and just quietly nibble at the cuff of Shadrez's boot and start to pull her a little bit.
So I imagine this essentially just like happens right at the end of like last session, end of that conversation, right?
Yes, tail end of that conversation.
All right, so like Shay is fucking fuming. But I imagine she like started like I don't know, distracting herself by looting a fucking goblin, just like I don't know, taking it over, using a boot to like fucking empty its pocket, you know?
They make a satisfying crunch if you want to step on them.
Gross.
No, I'm not going that far. Not this time. She'll feel the fucking tug at her boot, and she'll look down and see she fucking like turns because she's Angie. She's big Angie. And her first thought was, "This is another fucking goblin." Um, but she sees Holly, and she like stops for a second, and she looks up. There's no Sola in sight, right?
Nope. Because Sola is not leaving Mez because she does not trust Mez to not fuck off right now.
Mm. So looks back down at Holly. She tilts her head.
Yeah, imagine like Holly, as soon as like she gets your attention, is like staring at you, staring at the door, staring at you, staring at the door.
Yep. Keeps like pivoting this way and that because she can't point with her stubby little capybara legs.
She just looks at the door, looks at Holly, looks at the door, looks at Holly, turns, looks at Holly, turns to look at the rest of the group. What's Kokoro doing?
Kokoro is just kind of staring at Atsuto listlessly, just trying to think about a couple things.
Is Sudo conscious again or unconscious? I forgot.
Suto's still conscious, and
Okay.
he's kind of studiously avoiding looking at Kokoro so much. There's an air of shame about the man.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. Ismark sees you looking back and forth, and then he spots Holly, and he frowns.
Jay also frowns, and she just tilts her head at Kokoro, and there's like a quirk of the eyebrow, and then looks back towards the door, looks back at Holly, looks back to him.
You're gonna
It's a
get
silent
fucking
conversation.
You're gonna get fucking bit
Hey.
if you don't start moving.
Shay, is everything okay over there?
Oh, it's gonna be great. Shay just looks down at Holly. She will reach down. Pat.
Nope, no pat.
Hank. No pat.
No
You
pat.
try to pat, and Holly steps away toward the door, stares at you, stares at the door, then stares at Easemark. Easemark nods. Yeah, right. Something must be wrong with Soul, eh?
No. Holly's just saying hi.
That's not her saying hi face.
Snort from Shay. I'm just like, serious, fucking this fucking guy. She's gonna turn. She's worried about Kokoro and Pseudo. She's going to take a step forward towards Kokoro and say, "Hey, I think something's going on."
We'll go check it out then. You don't need me.
No offense, Coco, but I think we should probably all stick together for this one. You know what I mean?
She just sighs. You don't have to hide what you're thinking. I know what you're both thinking. Let's go.
Well, shit, that was easy. All right, let's go. Shay isn't gonna. She was about to. It's a good thing Eastmark spoke first. She's like,
definitely real Easemark.
Yeah.
Easemark will handle escorting Suto downstairs if you guys want to take him. Otherwise, your other option is waiting for the cops to show.
Well, he's
which,
been bound in chains.
Yes, he's bound in
Yeah.
chains, so he's probably not going anywhere, especially because both of his fucking legs are broken.
Yeah, like, She's thinking, like, I don't know if we can move him.
We can also have Shillelagh watch him too. Just call her, like, hey,
Hey.
gonna do some dangerous shit. Can you watch our prisoner?
Shillelagh's willing to do that after she drops off of Mako. Which at that point, you might as well wait for the guards.
Yeah.
Fucking throw Pseudo in a closet. You see how many one entry, one exit doors there are on this map?
Yeah, there are quite a lot of those. So it would be a fairly simple matter to lock him in a closet or something like that and leave a sign.
I think that would be best because this might be really morbid, but I am slightly afraid he'd try to kill himself before giving information. And there's glass, lava, whatever, all here.
I will say he's in no danger of that, because fuckboy though
Okay.
he may be, he is very much still in love with Dualia in his fuckboy way.
Okay.
So he is also too ashamed of himself right now and wouldn't never even think of hurting Kokoro in that way. So there's no worries about that specific thing.
Oh no, he hurting himself is my thought of like.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
Like he wouldn't do that to Kokoro.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
You can set him up in an office and barricade it, and he won't be able to get out.
That would be nice.
Listen, Pseudo, try and redeem yourself as best as you can, alright?
You say this to him, and he's still not quite looking at you, Coco. That might be harder than you think.
Eventually, I'm going to return to my halls back up in disguise. If you're not there, I don't think I'm gonna be as happy as I ever was. Alright?
This time he does look at you, and it's strange to see remorse on the face of someone like this, especially when he didn't seem that remorseful at all about having killed his father. But he does seem to feel bad about having disappointed you and about what happened with Amako and the way that everything has shaken out. Right. I guess the next time we talk, I'll be in a jail cell, but I won't run away.
Try and help them out if you can. I'll see if they can dispel your Lamashtu curse thingy.
I don't know if there's a mage strong enough here to do that.
Well, then I'll become strong enough to do it.
Coco. And his eyes narrow and he takes on a bit of an intensity. Be careful down there. You might become that strong one day, and I'd love to see that. But what's going on right now? It's big.
Yeah, I know. Thankfully, they have a goddess with them, and she just gives a slight chuckle. Do your best, alright?
I'll try to be as clear as I can.
Thank you.
And with that, you can safely store him in an office, and Easemark leaves a sign and uses a bunch of the sand in order to make directions leading to that particular office.
Criminal
Hmm.
here, arrow pointing down.
That's essentially it.
Yeah. Well, while we're doing that, I think while Kokoro was talking with Sudo and Ismark was laying the fucking criminal here, flashing lights but with sand. Uh, could Shay have just like, I don't know, quietly just like said a prayer for everyone that died here
You certainly can.
in the meantime?
You don't have access to a bless spell or anything like that, not yet at least, but you do take a moment to pray over the bodies of the dead here, particularly these craftsmen who, even though you didn't know them personally, were still people that you saw on occasion in the village. These were people that you've shared drinks with on occasion. They're people who would sometimes buy leathers from you. Even though you don't know all of their names, it's still enough and for you to pause, have a moment over each of them, and lay them out in a more dignified fashion.
Hmm. Yeah, because she would have taken the time to do that while they were getting Pseudo ready for, I don't know, while they were crating him.
While you were making a tsurito.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, thank you.
It's a good one. But alright, Holly, let's go. Fucking fine. I imagine I feel like she at some point untied one of Shay's boots from how hard she tugged at one point when they were
She was
taking
tugging and
longer.
glaring pretty hard.
Yeah. And Shay is just like, fucking, to retie the boots, all you did was make me restart my prayer. Costing yourself more time like this.
Holly does wait while you do the prayer.
Okay.
She will wait patiently.
Alright, well, fucking all suited up, going downstairs, following Holly.
Holly heads back downstairs. The party can reconvene as Shalelu and Ameko are also waiting in their room. Shalelu has been holding Ameko this whole time, piggyback style. Doesn't seem to show any signs of tiring. As Holly approaches Sola again, she sits down in front of her and then just softly and disapprovingly shakes her head a little.
And there's a little smirk from Sola, and just kind of the like, I know not. Yes, the youths.
That's
I
exactly the
understand.
vibe. But as the party passes the room with Shalelu and Ameko in it, Shalelu will step out with Ameko in tow. And let me just move all your tokens. All right. And Ameko, at the sight of Kokoro, reaches out for her over Shalelu's shoulders. Coco, you're in one piece.
Yeah. Suni would never do anything to harm me. You know that.
There's a wince on Ameko's face as you say that. I
Oh. True. True.
We have entered into another one of the like poorly chosen words moments. It was Kira's turn last time. Now it's Piper's.
as you say that, there's a wince and there's just a look of pure sadness on Ameko's face. And Shalelu sort of half turns, so there's a little bit more distance between the two of you. I think we should avoid speaking about that particular matter at present. And then Shalelu just stares at you, Kokoro.
Is there something more pressing right now?
Your sister's recovery.
And there is apparently something that is trying to tempt Messier into the dark. Something that is
Huh?
behind all of this.
Dark spirit? What?
Shay slowly turns to meet Mesmine's eyes.
So, seems like Cornelius made it back. Meds looks very uncomfortable.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I gotta raise your
She
volume.
said, seems like Cornelius is back.
Shay.
Mez is, just
Oh,
as a
sorry,
side note, like Mez is trying to not have like a panic attack right now and trying to keep calm with all this.
Shay's
does
hand.
feel
Sorry, no, continue. I'm so
I was gonna
sorry.
say she feels better that her, friends or companions are here though. Like there's a bit of relief.
More people.
Yeah.
As soon as you fucking say that shit, Shay's hand immediately goes to her sword, not drawing it, but it's on the fucking like hilt, ready to draw, and she just looks around. It's like, where is he?
Mez, while you were waiting for everybody to come back, at some point, the pressure dissipated.
Looks around. You still here?
Silence.
Detect magic.
Detect magic. There is no more magic in this vicinity.
The illusions he was using seem to be gone.
I guess he didn't want kids waiting. Mez kind of looks concerned at that. Mm.
In the quiet, Ameko looks over toward Kokoro again. Shalelu tilts so that they can face once more. Kokoro, I think you should look after your friend for a little while. I'll be back home when you're ready to talk.
I barely know them. You're my sister. Who do you think I want to talk to more?
I don't think I know anything anymore.
Yeah, that's how I feel too, actually. Do you want to go grab a drink or something?
Maybe tomorrow.
Alright, go recover.
Shalelu nods to you, Kokoro, and Ameko reaches over and ruffles your hair a little bit on the way out. Shalelu stops in the hallway about here or so and turns toward Shaydrez. Keep an eye on them, will you? Whatever's going on is. Don't be afraid to regroup if you need to.
I feel like that kind of reassurance is like not very common or like reminder. Like,
Yeah, they don't. Shalelu's method of talking with you about your feelings is less talking with you about your feelings, and more quiet company and very bad attempts to talk at other things uh, and teach you other things through which you might process your emotions.
so Shay will just give her like there's a slight tilt of the head as she like registers like Shalelu actually speaking about this. And there's like a furrow in her brow of like, huh, she is concerned. That's not a good sign. Nothing but nothing today. Everything is bad signs. Every single thing is bad signs all at once. She'll just give a nod. Little two-finger salute.
And if I don't see you in the morning, I will come looking.
Really?
No, I'll stay in camp and do my knitting.
Yeah. Sounds more like ya.
Of course, as you know, I'm a notoriously good knitter.
There's just a snort from Shay.
Good. I see I'm doing this correctly then. That's quite enough of that. Farewell. And Shalelu will hastily escort Abeko away.
Aw. It's like she read a book, How to Comfort Someone 101.
You guys need parents and like family figures that are good at comforting you guys, because like 3 of you have people who are not.
Right? Yeah, a wave before Shay turns back to Mesmine and Sola. It's like, so, what happened?
I have a spell. I wonder if this will work.
You can't seem to sense him anymore.
Will this work?
Oh,
Detect secret doors.
That's a spell? That's so specific.
This is very cool.
Yo, what the fuck?
I have been having this spell prepared on and off since we started this fucking game, and I have not been able to use it.
All right, let's see.
Let's
So
fucking go.
show me the cone that you're using for this.
Hold on. Okay, that's how you get rid of it. Okay. Yeah. There we go. My sheet was not collapsing for me to be able to see the screen for a minute.
if this will help too, Bezel mentioned that he mentioned going down, right?
Like, I imagine that like Sola has kind of stepped forward once like Mez is like, yeah, he's not there, and she saw that there's no illusion. So she is looking, because Mez was very clearly moving in this direction. So she's looking like probably this way.
All right. So how do you think Sola's casting this spell? What do you think it looks like?
I imagine because like the others are talking, like Kokoro's talking to Ameko, and like Shadris is talking to Shalelu, and she just kind of like steps up behind Mez, kind of gives, because she's very conscientious of the like Mez doesn't like being touched, so she's always got that like guiding arm, like, okay, move this direction, like we'll scoot past just a little bit. And I imagine it's probably more of like she places her hand on like the stone of the building. In For her, it's more of like almost like a stone sense type thing, where she just kind of feels the vibrations, feels the like moss and fungi and everything that is growing, and seeing if they're near or attached to anything that is not normal, not natural.
So you extend your senses into the fungi that are growing around here, the ever so popular Aslan's trumpets that have escaped from your store only to turn up once again in your life here. Your awareness mingles with theirs, and it's always interesting for you being in proximity to fungi because a bit like you, they can be a communal being. There's one, but there are also very many. And whenever you contact one, you feel echoes throughout, and a resonance within yourself. And as you're doing this, you get the feeling that there is something hidden. There's a hidden door further down the tunnel. Technically off the map, but there is a hidden door. And let's see, you get the. How many rounds are you spending on this?
As long as those conversations were going on, so several
At
rounds.
least, yeah, 2 minutes at least, because that's your caster level. All right, so. All right. You detect a hidden door, and the hidden door seems to have a very old mechanism. The fungi don't necessarily even remember the door being crafted in the first place, which is telling given the life of some fungi you've known in your many lives. But you think it's the sort of thing that's keyed to a particular person. Like, you get the sense that the door's waiting for someone.
Mm. So kind of step through and kind of be like looking around, hand still on the wall. And when she senses the door, she kind of tilts her head and glance towards Mez and back down the tunnel. You guys, that he was wanting you to go this direction, yes?
I mean, that was the way I felt the presence. That's where all the shadows kind of mix.
There is a door tucked away, hidden off of the path that we walked. It may be what he was wanting you to see.
Well, it's worth a shot.
And we'll look towards Shay and kind of motion her head down the tunnel. We are going this way. And I guess she will kind of lead the charge up until she gets to where the door is, at the very least.
Ah, yes, the door, sir, not appearing on this map.
Somewhere down here.
Yes, it's
All right.
further down that way.
Does marching order matter?
Marching order does matter.
Okay. Well,
As we'll follow behind Sola, since Sola's leading. She'll put her hand on Barney and use him as a therapy dog.
would Sola have wanted Shay to go first? Because
Well, no, she
okay.
wasn't trying to get Shay to go first. It was like Shay had turned and was like, "So what are we doing?" And it was like,
Okay.
"Well, we're going that way."
Oh, okay. Sorry, I completely forgot what that. Sorry, that it was more than 5 minutes ago. My brain forgot it. All right. Well, then she will. Oh, take up the rear, I guess.
Okay, so Shay addresses in the rear.
I guess that means Eastmark's in the middle then. Because it seemed like Kokoro wanted to be towards the back.
I think Ismark would be up front once the door is pointed out to him. I think that he would make some sort of old-timey wisecrack and see about checking the door for traps.
This is good.
That's what says.
Let's go.
So we'll offer the stick again.
He will gratefully accept the stick. I'm just looking for this man's sheet real quick.
Hmm.
All right.
Damn.
+1.
With a 13, Ismark looks this door over. It's a very old door, uh, just as you expected, Sola. One of the strange things about it, though, is that for being old, it's made of wood. Uh, Wood that does not seem to have rotted very much over the course of how many years it's been here and near to the shore in such a wet environment. Emblazoned upon the door is the Sahedron rune, and the whole thing has a weird reddish light to it. You didn't spot it on the first path because the rocks have kind of hidden it away. But Ismark rolls some of them off the path, and you're able to get at it. Well, I mean, something that old. If it's trapped, it can't still be working, right?
Detect
I
magic.
didn't know. I didn't know traps had a time limit.
Oh yeah,
She calls from the back.
they got a lot of delicate components. Sola, you detect magic at this door, and there is an enchantment on it. It seems to be a fairly minor enchantment, though, and it's not abjuration or anything that would usually concern you. It doesn't ping as evil. Does ping as very old, though.
Mm. And she kind of tilts her head. I believe this door can only be gone through or opened by very particular people. And she looks at Mez. And if he was trying to get you to come to it, then it is probably you that can open it.
Mez will get closer to the door and kind of look it over herself. Is there any like keyholes or like just like what kind? Are they like two doors? Is it one giant door? Like
It is one giant door. Um, Again, it's been covered up by rock for quite some time, but Mesmine, as you approach it, the red sheen to the door flares and goes almost like glassy over the wood. And as it does this, you can get a look at your reflection. The reflection doesn't have the scar.
uh, she will lean closer, pulling the goggles that she kind of usually keeps covering her eyes, pulling them up and leaning closer to look at this image.
It's you. It's definitely you. But as you lean in to study it more, there's a couple more differences. Uh, you're wearing your blacksmith's apron still, a nice leather thing that Doss and you put together quite some time ago, probably with some leather that Shayadress hunted down for you, as a matter of fact. It's monogrammed and it's got a little image of Barney in the corner. But beneath that, instead of your usual clothing, is very fine red silk. A showy and very expensive looking blouse. And the trousers that you're wearing in the reflection also seem to be of very strange make. You've never quite seen anything like them. They're solid black.
You'll look to Sola and Eastmark and like glance at them like, uh, are you seeing this too?
Ismark will lean forward toward the door, look between you and the door, you and the door. But then he seems to see something, and his face goes a little pale. Yeah, I'm seeing something, all right. Sola, when you look at the door, can you make me a will save?
Oh no. Or at least that's my good one, but with my other rolls today, yeah, we're not doing good today.
Oh, Joe?
Joe might be appearing right on time.
Right as his character starts, yep, there's the Joe, as his
Awesome.
character starts to go crazy.
Joe, it might amuse you to know I've been doing my best Ismark this whole time.
I believe you. If anybody could do a goodies market, it would be the real New Yorker.
I did my best.
I'm right here.
You're from Long Island. All right. Very quick recap for you, Joe. We are in front of a spooky door that is covered in some sort of reddish magic. Ismark used perception to try and spot any traps. He rolled a whole 12 on that. If you'd like to use inspiration, or feel free to,
Yes.
but okay. I wasn't going to use your resources.
You have my permission to use my resources. I'm gonna throw one whole d6 onto 15.
Actually, 16.
16. Ismark, it's not a trap, but there is something weird about the door. And as all of you have been looking at it, as a quick recap, Mesmine looked at it and saw a slightly different version of herself in weird clothes without the scar. Sola just rolled a 10 on a will save looking at this door to see if there was anything in it for her. Ismark looked at it and saw some stuff that I will DM you.
Oh.
Sola, as you are looking at the door, this is also a different you. Now, you're used to that. You've seen a lot of different selves over the course of your many, many lives. And at least the self that's staring back at you here is still Samsaran in nature. So it is you. There's a kinship that you feel with it. But it's not a face that you immediately recognize. And in fact, the more that you try to look at the face, the more your head starts to hurt. You will take a -2 on your next roll. The clothing is also very old fashioned in the same manner as Mesmine's is.
Can I place the clothing at least?
Yes. It looks Thessalonian. You're familiar
shit.
enough to know that off the top.
And she kind of lifts her chin a little bit, and her eyes kind of narrow. This is old magic. Something that is showing us, well, if anything, if the two of you see what I do, other selves.
Got it. Don't look at the door.
Miss, try to open it.
Z,
Hmm?
Iris put in the Discord that she'll be right back.
Oh. Damn it, Mez.
We have a second to catch Joe up.
Mhm.
Somebody catch Joe up.
Demons and shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Which ones?
Cornelius.
shitty fucking child. That is the bane of the tiefling's existence.
So there was, like, in the one shot for Shay and Mesmine before the campaign, there was, if I'm recalling correctly, a child demon that is the one that came and requested the weird, like, ritual iron.
Yeah.
And his name is Cornelius, and then Mez and Shay got attacked by fucking other demon, lady demon. But Mez is getting whispers from Cornelius about needing to finish their deal, and the lady demon overstepping her bounds, and so Mez needs to come downstairs to finish their deal and wrap up some things. And Sola could not hear any of that shit, could not see the shit that Mez was seeing. And she was just like, nope, you're not going downstairs alone, ma'am. That's a bad idea. And so the others were summoned. Suto has been thrown into a closet until Baylor arrives. It is now uncomfortably quiet.
So, did you said what this door does, right?
It shows other selves, is what Sola said.
Well, Kokoro's interested. She's gonna look at the door.
I think
Oh yeah.
Kira is also AFK now.
Yeah.
Show
Everybody,
me
I am
other
curious.
status
everybody
sides. Yeah.
else, everybody, 5-minute break, because apparently that's what we're doing right now.
Okay.
And I finally got to use a spell that I have been prepared with multiple times and never been able to use. Because I knew it was going to have to be useful at some point. Just on a very rare number of occasions.
What spell is that?
Detect secret doors.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ah, there is space. There's a capybara game.
Hello again.
Why do I
Hello
not
again.
know
Oh,
this?
hello there.
So when Piper comes back, Piper said that Kokoro looks in the door as well. So, but Piper is on a 5-minute break now.
All right.
So, funnily enough, I actually got back right before everyone went on a 5-minute break. I was just plugging my headset back in.
Unfortunately, your absence spurred everybody else's absence when we tried to turn to Mez.
I really needed to use the restroom. I'm sorry.
Meds me more like urine.
No.
No. Well, I have a green arrow, so I'm gonna fix that real quick.
Fuck are y'all getting these green arrows? I swear, like, I haven't had one for months.
Right?
Listen, you're using out-of-date software.
We lost Akira. There we got Akira back.
You lost you to the green arrow as well?
Yeah, I also had a green arrow.
Oh, that's a fucking cool dip. That's mine dib.
Oh yeah, I was thinking to beat you when I saw that. I was like, Joe's gonna like this one.
Green arrow fixed.
Hey, Kira, can we have the stream again?
Oh, yes.
Spooky, scary sounds. Sun shivers down. Okay. Okay. Alright. Kira.
Are you looking?
Yeah.
All right, I'll type
Curiosity.
something up for you.
Yeah, Curiosity has one
Yeah.
out over the other thing.
Curiosity, good.
Not really. Not always.
Curiosity is
Good.
great.
Curiosity is good in different amounts.
So there is the Piper. Piper is also looking. Everybody's looking
Yes.
at the mirror door.
Everybody.
So what does everyone see?
Yeah.
Apparently it's
Working
all
on it.
secret. Apparently it's all secret except for ours.
Understandable.
All right, everyone has what they saw.
I love learning new words from you and Joe. Let me Google this real quick.
It means armor.
Thank you.
I also love that we all instinctively know. Let me Google this vague word. Here's your definition. We know what word you're needing.
Thank you. My brain is smooth. Listen, I like numbers better, okay?
You're fine.
I'm not even good at numbers.
I just know Kira and I were the ones that had more fun with the, SAT word lists than numbers.
Oh, I demolished that fucking thing.
Dude, I fucking spelling is my fucking nightmare. Words are hard. Words are so
And
fucking hard. Numbers are
Joe-
simple. Formulas don't
Joe is
change.
just a nerd that reads a whole bunch of shit to find new words.
Mm.
I like learning cool new words.
I always just skated by off of context for words I didn't know.
But as everybody is staring in the doorway, Sola kind of, if you missed it, Iris. So it's just like this door seems to be if you all are seeing what I am seeing, it's showing us other selves. And then just kind of like looks at Mez and like, go try to touch it. Try to open it.
Mez will kind of glance around at the party, kind of like as if for confirmation. But we'll go to touch it tentatively with her fingies.
So Mesmine reaches out to touch this door, and as she does, there's a ripple across the surface, and a layer of liquid metal seems to solidify from the magic. The glassy, mirrored red surface is gone, and instead, there is only silver. And the door opens. Marching order once more, and I will move you to the next map.
So it casts dancing lights. So that we have a light if it is a shadowy hallway or stairwell or whatever.
It is indeed very shadowy. You may want to wait on that.
Ah, okay.
Would there have been any amount of leeway time between when we last left off and now that Ismark could have run and gotten a bullseye lantern?
Yeah, certainly. There's a ton of them out strewn about. It wouldn't be that hard to find one.
Okay, cool. I really just want to use one for the aesthetic.
It's very
Imagine.
smart core.
Yes.
Imagine not having dark vision.
Well, that's why so it was like, dancing lights. There's a couple people here that shouldn't have it. But who's in front? Is Shay gonna push her way to the front, or?
I mean,
Actually, let me move you onto the other map, and then you can marching order.
Oh, the other map. The other map, she says.
New map. Ooh.
But we've had the old map for so long.
All right,
It's
you
We've had that map
guys.
for 2 months.
Down here?
Yeah, down there.
down there? Okay. Are we supposed to see everything?
As long as you can't see any tokens, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So I want to double check.
If somebody sees a token, you better let me know right now.
I don't
No
think
tokens.
I see any tokens. I think that's a statue
I'm gonna
of some
zoom
sort.
in. Be extra safe.
See, all of this is supposed to be like, it's supposed to have the fog of war enabled and everything. It doesn't. It's fine.
Fog of War is so annoying on this. I will ask though, can we turn grid off again?
Yeah, sure, one sec.
Oh, but we're aligned on the grid.
No, I don't like grid.
now I can't move with my
There you go.
arrow keys.
I feel like
Too bad, so sad. Stop being lazy.
Shay would want to be towards the front because we don't know what the fuck is there. However, if others want to go in front and don't want her there, she's not gonna argue.
I will say, Ismark is the type to assume responsibility. He would press towards the front.
Mhm.
He wouldn't shove anybody out of the way, but he would very pointedly walk to the front.
Yeah, because like Shay is melee oriented, and is also thicker and has a shield.
Yeah.
So she would want to be towards the front, in front of the more squishy inclined.
You can go in front of Ismark, and Ismark, who is also melee oriented, will stand right behind you with the bullseye lantern.
All right.
Okay.
So, as you guys head downstairs, what's here seems to be very rough. It's a tunnel, although it's not one that's been hewn recently. It's very old, and time has worn away the rocks here. You do see some stalactites and stalagmites from the dripping that's constant overhead, but the walls themselves, aside for the crust of ages of drip, have been somewhat worn away. The floors are also hard stone. It's very dark in here, and roll me a perception check.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Oh. Eesh.
It's time for me to pack up and go home.
Do you want to roll with IRL, Dicey?
Yes.
You may. That's at a -2 as well, so that's a whole 11.
Fuck this. Me and Roll20 do not get along.
You and Kokoro have too much on your mind to figure out what's going on here. Shay, do you have dark vision?
See,
Yep.
see, I roll my real die.
1.
Roll my real die, and I have 22 before the -2.
Oh no. Well, you'll be prepared for next time.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
But if it matters, Shay's dark vision goes out to 120. And
Oh.
she's got low light for 60.
Quite some time.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Shay, you can see the basic outline and shape of this tunnel easily then. You don't need to roll for that. You can see that there's a break right up ahead that goes to the right. You can see that it stretches up for quite some time further down. But there's other stuff to be noticed. Mesmine, you also have dark vision, right?
Yep, not 120, only 60 though.
So, Mesmine, you are looking around and you're on edge here. You see a familiar silhouette right over here, and you see a small table set up, like a tea table almost.
Over where? I didn't see the thing.
I am repeatedly pinging.
You
I
might
think
be
you're
on
on
the
the wrong
layer.
layer.
God damn it.
I'm assuming it's this lower. Yeah, okay.
So you see a tea table set up, and you see a figure sitting at the tea table. It's all very dark in there, but the figure doesn't seem to be very bothered and is small, like a child.
Eek.
Shay, you see the tea table as well as the figure there. And you also, you see, it looks like a child. It's very familiar to you. The smelly smell is back.
This fucking child.
In fact, the smell here is pretty fucking awful, all things considered. Easemark, you do not have dark vision because you're a bog fucking standard human.
I'll have you know I brought my trusty bullseye lantern that I bought 40 minutes ago.
You do have your trusty bullseye lantern, which is enough that you see something strange. Over in this area here, you see kind of a veil of darkness, as if there were a pair of gauzy curtains hanging across the cave there. But from the way that they're moving and the way that it's rippling, you can tell that this is something magical, and you think that you see a shape beyond there, but it's perfectly still.
Hey, you guys see that? I'll try to point it out with focusing the light of the lamp on it.
Meds assumed you were talking about the table and child figure, and would respond with a, yeah, I see him.
As you focus your light in the direction of the creature, Easemark, the light happens to land on the face of the child. And this is the most smarmy, pompous-looking little ponce of a child you've ever seen. If you've ever seen early portraits of young Victorian children where they're adorned in frills and look like dolls almost, that's the manner of this child here. He's wearing a very proper coat with just waterfalls of lace at his cuffs and at his cravat. It's pale blue in color, the coat, and the shirt itself is very pale white. He has a bowl cut, dark hair, very dark hair, but when you focus the light in that direction, you do happen to see that his eyes are solid black, reflecting nothing at all, and in fact seeming to absorb the light around him. And he quietly waves to you all.
Oh, that's not a creepy mental image. Not at all. Nope.
Cornelius, I assume.
That's me. What name are you using this time?
What name was I using last time?
Arius.
Oh. What is my bonus on that? I need to roll something for myself.
What would you like to roll here?
I'm rolling a bluff to keep Sola just fucking chill, cause that's confusing. That's a 14. Okay. She's okay-ish. And she's kind of tilts her head. It is Sola this time.
You aren't gonna get them in any trouble this time, are you?
I seem to be the one keeping them out of troubles.
Really?
What'd you say, Iris?
eyes emoji.
Putting this in Roll20 as well, so Amy has the spelling.
Thank you.
He laughs and he gestures to his tea, pours out a cup, one cup, and kind of offers it toward Mesmane. Well, come on. Let's talk business.
Ismark, he doesn't avert his gaze from this weird looking little, he has pointy ears, I assume. He's a little elf kid, right?
No. This kid looks human.
Minus
Ish.
the horrible eyes.
Yes, minus the horrible eyes.
I'd like to vibe check this fucker.
Sure.
Okay. I'm assuming, is he an evil outsider?
He's something.
He's something? Would she get her favorite enemy bonus?
I'll allow it.
Okay. Because I don't know the exact definition of evil outsider. However, this kid's got evil vibes. He's not human. He was never born, apparently.
He's a very normal child.
Okay. This is gonna be with a +2. Where the fuck is it? Okay, it's down here. Holy shit, 32?
Damn.
Holy shit!
Damn.
Holy shit! I got a 32?
What
Best-
a time to roll a 20.
Best vibe check ever.
Holy shit!
Shayadress is just demolishing every sense motive roll in the world. It's very funny.
Holy shit!
I don't think you rolled below like a 25 on sense motive.
Listen, people are full of shit, and she's there to find it.
So, Shayadrez, you sense a great multitude of things here. But the first thing that you sense is that you should not be sensing anything related to this child. There is something deep in the core of your being that coils in disgust and fear and just a complete primal urge to run as you try and focus on him. You get this evil energy that's, now that you know what to look for, is almost intolerable to you. It makes your skin itch. But that being said, you also don't get any sense of direct malice from him. There's something else at play here. He has the energy of a general entertaining, well, not entertaining, but a general in a war room, studying a map and calling over one of his lieutenants to discuss their next move. But whatever is going on, that child is unlike anything you could have even dreamed of being near. He is evil in the way that the sun is hot. It's the most intense form of evil you could possibly imagine.
Well, holy fucking shit. Did Mez move to step forward?
Yeah, she was starting to move forward to take a couple steps.
Oh, hold on. It's not enough to touch her, but just an arm out in front to stop her in her tracks. As she's going to, in a like low voice, whisper to Mez, just like, Mez? That is a all of pure evil. You know what you're doing?
Mez looks very scared, but she's trying to hold it together. But she'll whisper in response to Shay, like, not entirely, but he said if I didn't meet with him, then that thing that did this might attack the town. So I figured I'd hear him out. Plus, he did commission this. Again, she kind of pulls the strap on her gun case closer.
She just slowly. It looks like she is fighting every single fiber of her being, but she just very slowly lowers her arm. Be careful.
Well, oh, I can't hear anything. Hang on. Someone say something?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, there we go.
I very briefly stopped the music to change it.
Yeah, that's what freaks me out. I'm like, wait, my sound, my audio.
As before Mez can go into the room. This is not much, but maybe, just maybe. So we'll kind of step a little bit closer behind Mez. Lean forward. You do not have to do anything you do not want to. And she will lift a hand kind of beside to catch Mez's eye, and it's glowing very faintly. In the kind of a gesture that I imagine Mez would recognize as like, I'd like to do something, but you need to touch me in order to do it.
Mez is still kind of stiff and, nervous, but she sees us, nods, and I guess puts her hand out, or like grabs her hand, as if that's what Sola's playing.
Well, whatever she would be more comfortable with.
She'd put her hand out, essentially, like, here, go ahead.
And so she's very carefully wrap her fingers around, and she will cast guidance on Mez. So you get a +1 bonus to a single attack roll, saving throw, or skill check, but you have to choose to use the bonus before you roll.
Okay. Mez gives a weak smile and a nod and thanks. And when Shay put her arm down, there was like this look of almost like, please don't. Almost like he didn't want to do this.
Well, if she doesn't want to do this, she doesn't have to. We can just fucking leave. Fuck this guy. The town's gonna get attacked anyway.
But with the courage from Auntie Sola and the fact that her friends are here, she'll step forward.
Sola will move around the wall and into the back of the room, though, following behind.
All right. Does anybody else move into the room?
Mez has her hand on Barney, by the way, too.
Barney has come along with you. Despite you can sense his fright, he's still at your side.
He's puffed up. He's a bigger puffball than he normally is.
And Shay is so ready to intervene the second things could possibly go south.
So here's what happens. Those of you who advance into the room can see
Good.
this creature, which is a bent backward, misshapen lump of flesh, carrying a almost like a trident, but much longer. The technical term is a ranseur. Lined with teeth, its flesh pulsating with red energy. But it's beyond the veil of magic that Ismark saw before. And what's more than that, it's covered in inky black tendrils that seem to be holding it perfectly still and in place. And even though you can see the pulsing of it, it doesn't seem to be breathing even.
You know what I'm about to say.
What are you about to say?
My new favorite spell. Detect magic.
All
You
right.
just have like a little macro button.
It would be funny.
Hey,
like the-
this game does not give me many spells, and I have to fucking call them beforehand, except for my cantrips. I'm going to abuse the fuck out of my cantrips.
It's like the that was easy button from Staples. Detect magic.
Okay.
Detect magic.
Sola, you are detecting it's an enchantment of the compulsion variety, and it is extremely strong that is holding this thing in place.
So let's just kind of like staff kind of clicks on the ground, kind of shoulders hunched just a little bit. I don't suggest that we break that spell. None of us are capable of putting it back on.
Oh, don't worry about that. I've got a hold on him for now. I didn't want him to get in the way, you know? Do you want some tea, Mezzy?
This is like behind the boy then? At the table?
Yeah, it's behind the boy.
Okay.
The boy is in the square, like directly in front of Mesmene's like diagonal.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a table like here. There we go.
So then must be up here. Sure. He sounds wonderful. It's not convincing at all.
He offers you a cup, and then he watches.
Don't fucking do it. Don't.
Fucking hold it out the solar.
Glance again to party.
Just slight twitch of the head horizontally.
Don't do it.
She'll take a sip.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Mez has been looking for a chance to eat something she shouldn't for the past like 5 sessions.
Let's go.
It looks like at the party, Shay just shakes her head. No, Mez, I bet.
Okay,
Just
Mez,
brings it
make
up to her
me
mouth.
a fortitude save.
Oh my god.
Okay. You know, I've been wanting one of those. Fortitude.
All right, 14. Let me look something up here for you.
Okay.
Just how dead are you off of a 14?
How much shit do you see?
So, Mez, you don't like the way that this feels when you drink this tea. I mean, it's delicious. So that does bear saying. It's an Earl Grey, but it's a very nice Earl Grey, velvety in texture. I don't know if you've had a lot of Earl Grey, but sometimes it really do be hitting. Anyway, this is pure black Earl Grey tea, but there's a terrible feeling that washes over you as you consume it. It makes you feel cold, and as you look down at yourself, there's a film of darkness that coats your hands. Now, even though it feels kind of gross, it doesn't necessarily feel bad. You've gotten a free use of a single spell. But what that spell will have to be will rely on Sola identifying it, or Kokoro.
Interesting.
Sola in the back of her head. Fucking youths, man.
It takes all her power to not drop the teacup, but she sets it on the table with a little bit of a clang.
He smiles. Yeah, it's so nice to work with brave people. You don't find that many of them these days. But I won't keep you too long. Do you have what I'm after?
You said there was some sort of agreement you wanted to make first, though.
Oh, it's a very simple exchange. But I need to see it.
Bez will. So when she sat down at the table, I imagine she put her case on her lap. But she'll open the case and kind of show it off because her gun's at her side. She's been carrying that like out of its case. But inside the case is the brand.
When he sees it, he smiles, and the edges of his mouth seem to split a little bit, just to show off a little more tooth. Oh, it's even better than I thought it would be. He reaches into his coat, and from it, he pulls a small leather bag, and he sets that down midway across the table, with the top of it open such that you can see inside it, Mesme. And inside are 6 bullets.
Bullets?
Yeah, bullets.
I mean, I'm assuming there's something magical going on here with them, but like...
They are magical bullets, but there are 6 bullets.
I have plenty of bullets, if that's what you're offering.
You don't have any like these, and you're gonna need these.
For what in particular?
He gestures over his shoulder at the thing that's held in place. There's, I think, 4 or 5 more of these guys hiding out just in this place. And there might be a lot more of them soon.
Hey, DM.
Yes?
I want to do the thing.
You want to detect magic?
Yes.
Alright. So the bullets are magical. Most of them have very simple enchantments on them. Nothing cursed. You are not detecting any curses from them. One of them, I believe, will be illusion. Let me double check. One of them, I will just give this to you because it's very common. The strongest of the bullets detects as a bane bullet to you.
Mm. But not outwardly harmful. They would like Mez touches them and she explodes.
No, no curses or anything like that. The rest
Okay.
of them seem to be conjuration.
Okay.
And this is part of this exchange.
You can call it that, yeah. I mean, I paid you for the brand a long time ago, but this is an advance payment on a little favor I'd like you to do for me.
What sort of favor?
You remember the. Oh, shit, sorry. My push to talk also muted the music stream. 1 second.
How dare.
You remember the lady I was with last time, don't you, Mez?
If I recall correctly, you weren't with her. She was chasing you.
He lifts his teacup. Good memory. See, I knew you had it in you. I want her dead.
It's clear that he's holding this creature back, right?
Yes.
Why do you need someone like me to do that when you seem pretty powerful yourself?
Because I'm looking out for you, Mesnine.
Sec.
Was that 1 sec? Oh.
Yeah. Wow, she actually has courage this time. After what happened with my last encounter with you, I found blood.
Was that I find that difficult to believe?
Yeah.
Cornelius stands from his seat. He picks up the teapot and it disappears into cloudy ink sort of vapor, like when you drop ink in water. He starts walking toward the rest of you, but not menacingly, just as if he wants to address all of you at once. See, the thing is, this place, this town, is very special. And in a little while, a lot of things are going to be happening here. I'm someone who has, shall we say, a vested interest in how things go. And I can be reasoned with, unlike some of the other people at play here. But for me to win, and for all of you to live, you need to be stronger than you are. So, really, this is kind of a win-win. I know you want that woman dead. You get the chance to take her out with a little help. You get stronger, and you do something about one of the sins that's plaguing this town. Don't you think that sounds like a good deal?
What do you mean by sins?
It is old magic, isn't it?
It sure is. But you'd know that better than anybody, wouldn't you?
And which sin will this solve?
This will solve wrath. Unless you think a guy decides to beat his sister within an inch of her life just because.
So you are saying the things here are part of what poisons Uto's mind.
Oh, it's more than just him. It's everybody. But he was already kind of an angry guy. So it was easier for it to affect him. Kind of amp it up.
I
Like-
can hear this, right?
Yeah, he's addressing all of you.
Okay.
Like holding up a bullhorn to it.
And who is this person behind this?
Well, she goes by a lot of names. The one that's looking after this, her name's Aurelium. She's a Quasit. You'll find her a little deeper in, but she's the one who's making these guys.
Can
He
we get a
gestures toward
spelling
the
of
thing.
whatever the Q thing was?
Yes.
Weighs it.
Oh, a closet.
Okay.
Lower. Yeah. A lower
I'm sorry, I've
level.
never heard anybody say that before.
I've heard it as both.
I have only heard it as closet.
It did take me a minute, but I got it.
Well, yeah.
Shovel from fucking Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So they're saying that the Aurelium is the Quasit,
Yes.
and he or it or they
She.
are she. She is
She, her.
Responsible for Suto or responsible for these monsters?
She's responsible for these monsters. And for tending to whatever it is that is creating them.
And I am assuming that the others are not being held back by your black magic.
No. And when I leave, this guy's gonna get free too, and he's kind of angry.
Why can't you deal with these things yourself, though? Those things in particular.
Mez, did you listen to a word I said? You need to do this. In the fires of these crucibles, you, all of you, are going to grow stronger than you can possibly imagine. But it only works if you do it yourself. If you want me to solve all your problems for you, you're going to have to pay a higher price than any of you are willing to pay.
What you're describing, it kind of sounds like fatten up a pig before you slaughter it.
I wouldn't say a pig. I would say, it's more like putting metal in the forge over and over again. He smiles his weird ass smile, with the edges of his mouth starting to split again. Just toothy. There's too many teeth in his mouth. So, what do you say?
Mez will look to the group and be like, well, our town's gonna have to deal with this one way or another. At least we get something out of it this way.
Sola kind of is staring very intently at the creature. I'm assuming she can't figure out what the creature is.
I do not think you could possibly roll high enough.
Okay. And if this helps the town, then whether we like the messenger or not. And she kind of glances at the kid and then back at the creature. We might as well. And then she looks over to Kokoro and to Ismark. Ismark, you should perhaps go back home.
No, I'm too far into this to back out now.
And she looks at
As much as I want to.
Yeah. Just remember that you need to get back to Cece.
His stare is very distant, as though he's thinking about somewhere else or something else. But he nods. He does hear you.
And she looks at Kokoro. And I am assuming that you wish to speak with this Iridium.
If this thing is responsible for making Suni do all this stuff, then it's my job as a goddess to smite her.
As you say this, Cornelius tilts his head at you, Kokoro. Huh. I didn't recognize you at first.
Am I supposed to know you?
He just keeps smiling. No, I suppose you wouldn't.
Okay.
She'll just kind of tilt her head and gives a little nod to Kokoro. Just one step at a time, yes?
Soft nod. Where did you recognize me from?
A long time ago. Someplace else.
Yeah. Well, gotta do a smiting, so let's go do it.
As you all seem to agree, Cornelius nods, smiling again, and he wraps his fingers across the table. Wraps his knuckles, I should say. All right. Then, if you really need help, Mesmine can get to me. But otherwise, I think you guys have this under control. You have 30 seconds. And with another rap of his knuckles on the table, he and the table are gone, melting into the dark around you.
Mez will kind of slightly dive for the bag of bullets.
Yeah, you're
before
able to
they
get it.
Yeah, before they disappear too.
All right. Above table, it is 10:54. We could do a combat now. It's only
Nope.
one creature. Okay, very fair. That's what I want to take the temperature on.
Mm-hmm.
We can start with the combat next session then.
We can go ahead and I would say get any prep that we wanted to do or initiative go ahead and roll so we don't have to worry about that next time.
Positioning.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, positioning would be good. Fucking throw Shayadris up at front.
Oh boy.
And there's many of these things down here, is what she said.
Yes.
Many
So-
Quasits or
Many of these things.
These monsters.
oh, the monsters. Gotcha.
So we have to be aware of our resources.
Well, you can see it's very beautiful mug over there in the NPC chat.
Yeah, Dude. Kira, I'm having like PTSD flashbacks because I am remembering my first time running through this area, and boy, boy, did we absolutely bumblefuck our way through this entire area. It was a fucking nightmare, but it was really fun.
I'm sure you guys will be fine.
It'll be fine.
Initiative.
It will be so much more fine than a group who went into this dungeon with no fucking ranged weapons.
Oh god, yeah, no, Jesus Christ.
We were a group of all melee except for the bard.
How the Christ did you do the last fight?
So you want to know how? Because my character Isaiah, we did a bunch of math. Because I said before any of this even happened, I had firmly established that Isaiah, when he was standing at his full height, not slouching, he was 7'9" tall. Because he was part ogre. He was 7'9", and so we calculated how high he could reasonably jump with his strength being 20. And then we calculated how high he could reasonably hit if he were holding a Ransour at the very, very end.
That is very funny.
It was It was really funny, and we were scrambling to figure out like we can't just die here. This would be
Hyper,
so
Joe.
pathetic.
Roll initiative.
Initiative.
Oh yes.
Remember to click on your token.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. What's your? There's a dex comparison between Ismark and Mez here.
I would bet Mez goes first. Ismark's dexterity is only 16. God damn, 2 nat 20s for fucking initiative. Mental.
For initiative.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
but
also
still.
Kokoro and Shay who are fucking ready.
Two people who are so fucking ready to deal with any sort of anything tied to the cause of all this bullshit.
So
I will
positioning?
say Shay gets the drop on it because of the head start.
Wow.
Yep, you have time to position. You have 30 seconds, which is technically enough time to take several combat actions.
It's time for smiting.
Remember,
Got a
Again, there are
thingy.
several of these things.
this is a dungeon.
I have 50 years as a magic missile. I'll be fine.
Magic missile.
I have a thing that I want to give to Shay, but I'm gonna wait until later. When I think
Okay.
it's gonna be